Hi, I'm Fatima Bey The MindShifter. And as some of you may know, I write for Blessings magazine. I have a page in there called The MindShifter. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read to you the article, not verbatim, not, every single word, but I'm going to tell you what this is about. And my hopes are that you will not only buy the magazine, but that you will take this message to heart and figure out ways you can apply it to your own life, because it applies to all of us, at least at some point. It's called The Fish Out of Water. So we're going to talk about fish. What I want you to do is go on a visual journey with me and imagine a fish in a fish tank. A tetra, for example. Imagine him swimming around, all happy inside the fish tank. What I like about fish, they're meant to breathe water, right? They have gills, they have mechanisms within them that are meant to breathe water. Humans are meant to breathe oxygen. They're meant to breathe water. But what happens if you were to take that tetra out of water, or any fish, out of a fish tank, out of water, and put it on the table? That fish will begin to violently flail about. It will begin to just violently jump and flip and with all of its might move around. And the reason it's doing that is because it desperately wants to get back into its habitat. Its habitat is not an oxygen on the table. Its habitat is in the water. It's built for the water. And so it can't breathe. It's choking and it's trying violently to live again. Do you sometimes feel like that fish out of water? Do you feel like you're being choked? Like you can't breathe? You just can't, the element, the environment, the place, your job that you're around is choking you? It could be because you're a fish out of water. When the fish is jumping around, like I said, it's trying desperately to get back to life. There are ways that we as humans, we do this same principle. We have a problem with everything around us. Nothing fits. It's just everything inside you and you can't explain it. Just irritates you. You just, I'm not talking about the frustrations of life that are normal. I'm talking about you're just outside of your element. For example, you're sitting at a desk in a cubicle when you should be on stage singing. That's just an example. There are many details, and the details are going to be very different for each one of us. But you need to be in your own element. You may be reacting to the fact that you are outside your element. This applies to many of you listening to this right now. You are reacting to the fact that you were a fish out of water, and you don't even realize it. I want you to take this as a thought, a seed thought, and actually begin to examine if this applies to you. What happens to the fish when it's outside of the water? If you leave it there long enough, it'll violently flail. And eventually, if it can't flip itself back into water, if it can't flip itself back into its environment of life, eventually it'll die. The same thing happens to you. Eventually, you die too. You may not die physically, but you will die spiritually. You will die emotionally. You can die mentally. Your motivation may die. Your drive, your passion may die because you stayed in the wrong element for too long. That is always harmful. So what you need to do is you need to get back into your water. Find out what your water is if you don't know. And it's okay if you don't know. Be honest with yourself and say, I don't know. And start that journey today of self-examination to figure that out. Now, there are people like myself and others around who can help you with that. But whether you come to me or someone else, figure it out. Get in your water so you could swim and flow freely like that beautiful tetra in the fish tank. Get in your water. I'm Fatima Bey, the MindShifter.